on his home mat. We come right to it. 133 pounds is where we'll start tonight. These teams drew beforehand, so 125 will be the last match tonight.
Forys in on an inside single, looking to pick up the leg, gets the trip down. He's going to get a quick takedown here on Hall. Good start here for Forys to get a nice inside single and get the opening takedown.
Forys holding that top position.
Two ranked opponents. These two guys used to success as we get a stalemate. Hall back on the bottom. Hall 33-9 last year, 7th in the NCAA tournament, 27-8. And NCAA qualifier as a sophomore, 8th in the NCAA tournament as a freshman as Hall picks up an escape. Snap down out of bounds for Forys, coming in as an NCAA qualifier a year ago.
Earl Hall tonight. He's seeking his 100th career victory. If he is able to pull it off, he'd be the 37th Cyclone in their program history to do it. And Greg, it was Hall that put a stop to Forys' great run last year. And when we talked to the coaching staffs about it, it was mainly Forys needed to guard against the headlock. He got headlocked twice in that match in the NCAA's last year. Started down 6-0, and when he got that deficit that he had to fight back from, his game plan kind of disappeared at that point.
Yeah, it certainly did. And for Forys, he's methodical with his approach and wants to pick up the takedowns, where Hall, he likes to open things up a little bit. We get a stalling call here on Hall and a deep shot for Forys, but Hall able to fight it off with the wizard. Near the out-of-bounds line, they're going to likely to head out of bounds. Yeah, they keep their wrestling action in.
You wouldn't expect these two to run out of bounds at any point.
They will use the full mat, that is for sure.
1 minute in the period.
For Forys, trying to pick up his shots right now and just continues to push the action on Hall.
Just under a minute to go in the first period. We're at 2-1 here, Greg, as we're nearing the end of this first round. When Kevin Jackson talked to us, he said the advantage is going to move in favor of Dom Forys if this thing is close toward the end, because he really wants Earl Hall to put his full repertoire on display tonight.
Yeah, he's got to open it up a little bit, and you can see Hall already getting hit with a stalling call. It's not quite opening up the way I'm sure Coach Jackson was expecting Hall to do that here in the opening period. Good start, though, for Forys to take an opening lead of 2-1.
That'll end the first period. So good start for these two.
You see Forys gets on the single and is able to bring that leg high up and able to pick up the trip and the takedown. He's able to get that ankle and move quickly through the process.
Round number 2, Forys down on the bottom, trying to get out, but Hall maintaining control.
Hall's going to try to open things up on top here. Forys up to his feet, looking to peel the hands, and Hall wants to get him back down the mat in a hurry. Now gets into a spiral ride. Now Forys up to his feet, again peeling the hands, turns in, and he's going to pick up the escape.
That puts Forys up 2 in round number 2. Minute and a half to go.
Forys getting into a tie up here with Hall. You can see with Forys and his attacks, though, he's getting lower on Hall as he gets onto a Russian tie and tries to get into a shot. He's trying to stay lower with Hall, and I think that's part of the being hit twice a year ago with those headlocks. He doesn't want to get high in a scenario and give up big points.
About 50 seconds to go in round 2.
Salt running Hall
Another stall warning for Hall, and I think they're justified. He hasn't really taken any shots. It's been all forys trying to get after the legs. Hall has defended him, but he's not being aggressive on his side of things. So big penalty point awarded to forys, and we'll see if that ends up having Hall turn up the pace a little bit.
Are you surprised that Hall hasn't come out more aggressive here?
Yeah, he's really just playing defense right now, which is a bit surprising because of what Coach Jackson mentioned, that if it's a close match or forys jumps out to an early lead, it's not going to be in the advantage of Hall. So I fully expected Hall to come out and be aggressive to try to open things up a little bit.
That'll conclude round number 2. Forys holding on to that 3-point lead going to round number 3. Take a look at Kevin Jackson now. Produced a ton of All-Americans in his time with Iowa State, but he is stepping down as the head coach at the end of the season, wants to take a more administrative role with the program. Said that the job has kind of worn on him a little bit over the years, and it's time for him to step away. This is Iowa State's first action since that announcement.
Nice move for Hall to pick up the escape. So it's now 4-2 after that escape for Hall. Shot in for Hall, but fended off by forys. Now we'll see Hall like to pick up the pace a little bit. A takedown will tie this match. For forys, though, he's got to continue to stay aggressive and get it on the legs, as Hall's going to get on a leg here at forys. And we get a stalemate with 1:11 to go.
Do you think Hall, in this situation through the first 2 periods, just kind of saved himself for this sprint at the end?
I think he's looking at the scoreboard knowing he can pick up a takedown and tie this match. Is what has pushed Hall to be able to come after forys a little bit, but sometimes it's a little too late. As now for forys, he could step away and give up 2 stall calls, give up a point, and still win the match. So sometimes it's a little too late to wait till that 3rd period to pick up the pace. He's got under a minute to go, and forys yet to be hit with a stalling call.
When these guys faced in the NCAA championships last season, Drew Headley told us it was the biggest match of Dom Forey's career. He's going to be more prepared this time. He's holding on to that 2-point lead.
Yeah, getting in that round of 12. And so close to being a potential All-American. Forey's getting on a shot. Now Hall counters. Good action here from forys. And if you're forys, you just want to stay right there in the middle of the mat. Let Hall come after you. You got 20 seconds. You don't need a takedown if you're forys. And if you're Hall, you got to continue to pick up the pace here and try something. He's not getting in on the legs of forys. We'll see if he can maybe go upper bodies. We get a stalling call on forys. Forys looks to spin around behind, gets in on the legs, trying to drive in on a double. A nice whizzer for Hall. And that's going to be enough for forys. He's going to get the takedown and win.
Takedown at the buzzer. Dom Forys moving to 15-1 on the season, his 60th career victory, and he gets that revenge on his home mat. That's got to feel good for Dom, taking down Earl Hall here tonight.
Yeah, he's been looking forward to this match all year long, and he gets the win. And for forys, he puts Pitt up 3-0.
We'll move right along to 140 on the season. Looking forward to 149 now. The senior for the Pittsburgh Panthers, Mikey Racciato, taking on Gabe Moreno. This is another one that could get interesting, a little dicey through the 3 periods. Racciato 9-8 this season, an up-and-down wrestler through his career at Pitt. Gabe Moreno 4-7 thus far.
Yeah, you look at Racciato, a 2-time NCAA qualifier, 1-time ACC champion. From Penn Archer, 149-4 in high school, a 2-time state champion. He's a scrappy wrestler. Somebody who likes a lot of funk moves. And he's looking right away for a headlock, is Racciato, and he's going to put Moreno onto his back for just a moment. He's not going to get any back points, but he will pick up a takedown. So Racciato went for it all early. Doesn't get the back points or the fall he was looking for, but does pick up an early lead just seconds into this period. Moreno, another guy who, like Racciato in many ways, two-time NCAA qualifier. In on a leg is Moreno. Racciato trying to roll through with him. Most guys would be uncomfortable in this spot, but Racciato's not like most guys. He's able to roll with the best of them. Moreno trying to shake him down, looking to grab the head, and close to a takedown. There is the takedown. And now trying to put Racciato onto his back, and Moreno looking for the fall. He's got Racciato in some trouble. And there is the fall. Time of the fall, 125 for Gabe Moreno.
What a match right off the bat. Gabe Moreno taking on Racciato, the senior. And Racciato was coming off a pin against NC State's Bo Donahue last week. And he comes in this weekend, gets taken down and pinned to the ground, suffers a fall.
Yeah, just really got put in a tight spot, gets cradled up, and really had nowhere to go with it. That's what happens when you get a wrestler who likes to roll a lot.
These two guys are unorthodox. They have interesting styles of wrestling, and both coaching staff said this could be the most exciting match of the night. They're going to have to do a lot to follow up the one we just had, though, with Racciato getting pinned.
Yeah, for Coach Headley at Pittsburgh, he said Rahmani's one of the most exciting wrestlers to watch. He makes other coaches nervous for his opponents because you just never know what to expect out of Rahmani. And this was one of those true toss-up matches. I think the one that the coaches were expecting the most because of the fact that for Rahmani, he can hit a lot of different things, and it's the same way with diblasi. He's unorthodox, gets in and out of a number of positions, and Rahmani's going to pick up the opening takedown.
With Racciato's fall, Gabe Moreno ties up the dual score at 6 apiece.
Diblasi looking for a spladle, almost able to pull it off, and then puts himself on his own back, and Rahmani just trying to sit right there with Diblasi. And he's going to put him back over. Rahmani looking to get the points back. Diblasi looks like he might be able to roll off of his back. 2 near falls awarded to Rahmani.
And near fall, 1 point escape. Diblasi.
So with the escape now for Diblasi, it's going to be 4-1. It looks like both coaches want to talk because there were so many back and forth.
Both sides want to challenge this.
I think they called it right because Rahmani had the control throughout the process. I'm just surprised Rahmani only had 2 near falls. So I think they're going to take a look at this on the monitor just to see how many back points should have been awarded.
Kevin Jackson told us before this that these are the type of guys that put themselves into tough positions, but they're able to wrestle out of it.
Yeah, look right here. They're calling for back points. I think that's where Coach Jackson's looking at because Diblasi was getting back points counted for him, but then Rahmani assumes control. I don't know if they waved off the near falls because of the fact that maybe Diblasi didn't have complete control, but I think because the red was going for some back points. It's hard to say. Again, you look at it, it looks like a reversal comes here because that's the back points start to go for Diblasi, but then Rahmani turns in, assumes control, and then he starts getting back points as he puts Diblasi over to his back. So I'm wondering if maybe the near falls for Diblasi were just waved off.
You try to tell by watching the officials' arms flying around there, but it was really a flurry of points, and a tough situation. How hard is that to officiate? I mean, even just looking at it now and trying to figure it out.
Well, you have to have control before you can get the back points. So if they're already counting back points, they must think that he has control. So a reversal and 2 near falls, but then is it a reversal and 2 more near falls for Rahmani, which in that case would have made it 6-4 as opposed to 4-0. Both coaches mentioned, expect a lot of funk moves in this. Expect a lot of points to be put on the scoreboard because they're both similar wrestlers. And we're, a minute and a half into this one, and it's lived up to the billing for sure, how the coaches talked about it.
There's already controversy.
Right here is where back points should have been going to diblasi, but then Rahmani able to reverse. And they actually, if you see, he actually gives points. But at the same time, for how long he's on his back, Rahmani should have got more than 2 near fall points.
See, there were 2 awarded initially to diblasi. And then he instantly started counting with the back points as soon as they hit the mat. See if there's a decision coming soon. Drew Headley told us Rahmani's a wild card. You never know what you're going to get. This is a hard thing to expect right here. Rahmani coming off of a 9-7 loss in overtime in the NC State duel. Getting some explanations on both sides. How do you, I don't even know how you would sort something out like this.
So it looks like it's going to be 8-5 is what they're putting on the scoreboard. So that's going to tell me.
Upon further review, the score on the board is correct, 8-5 in favor of Rahmani.
So that means that diblasi got a reversal 2, near fall 2, then Rahmani got a reversal 2, and near fall 4, and then an escape for diblasi. That's going to make it 8-5. You got all that?
I think so.
All right. Takedown 2 for Rahmani.
Let me write it down.
All right. Takedown 2 for Rahmani.
Uh-huh.
Reversal 2 for diblasi. Near fall 2 for diblasi. Reversal 2 for Rahmani. Near fall 4 for Rahmani. And then escape for diblasi, 8-5.
All in one sequence. 13 points awarded right there.
I think that's the way it went, too, by how the referee counted it off. They got it right with the replay.
I don't know, Greg. Maybe you should be officiating this. You were right on it from the start.
I think I like my spot right here.
Perched high above. I'd rather be up here trying to figure it out on a monitor than trying to figure it out down there.
Yeah, don't have the pressure, right?
That's right.
Trying to hold on to the leg right now is lazy in an awkward position. And we're going to get a stalemate with 57 seconds to go in the first.
Match score tied up, 6 apiece. All of Iowa State's points came from Gabe Moreno's pin of Mikey Racciato in the 141 weight class. Nick Zanetta and Dom Forys picking up decisions for the 6 points for the Panthers tonight.
Back into a tie-up.
Both these guys got a little bit of a breather during all that discussion, too.
You get a feeling once one of them takes a shot, you're going to see fireworks because they both like the funk rolls. They aren't afraid to be on their own backs. And that's what makes game planning for wrestlers like this so difficult because of how well they can fend off certain shots.
That'll conclude the first period. Taking a look at Drew Headley, who was part of that discussion just a few moments ago. 3rd season on the Panthers coaching staff. Had a heck of a career here as well. Bounced around as an assistant coach around Division I, but is back at home now. Drew Headley is a co-acting head coach with Matt Coker, who you saw earlier.
Rahmani up to his feet. Diblazi's got to get him down to the mat. He finally does do so. And we get a stalling call on Diblasi as he was just holding on to that ankle.
You saw the graphic a moment ago. Rahmani leading the Panthers in falls this season has recorded 7 falls and 13 total victories this year. You can see why with his exciting wrestling style. He's able to make something out of nothing.
Stalemate. Rahmani was able to catch that leg going in. See if he can do it again here as he tries to come up to his feet. He's able to get on one leg. For Diblasi right now, comfortable here in this position.
1 minute.
Wants to try to turn Rahmani over. With a power half. Now Rahmani just trying to step over. .25 seconds to go. Good job of riding here. Turning in, though, is Rahmani. And he's close to picking up a reversal. Rahmani running out of time, though. He's going to be rode for this second period.
All three coaches talked about Headley and Coker. Tyler Nauman as well, all three in the picture there. Up out of their seats, screaming instruction the whole time. It's a team effort on the sideline, trying to help every individual make the right decisions on the mat.
Diblasi down for the third. Steps in, wants to try a trip, and Rahmani's going to take him right to his back. Rahmani was ready for it. And he's going to pick up some key back points here, 4 of them. And that's going to open it up to a 12-5 lead. And now Rahmani again able to put Diblasi onto his back, and he's going to get the fall. Time of the fall, 5:24 for Taleb Rahmani.
Rahmani pumping up the packed Fitzgerald Fieldhouse.
1 minute and 24 seconds. Taleb Rahmani.
Pins Colston Diblasi. That puts the Panthers up in the max score 12-6. So he gets that fall back.
Able to just step right over, and you could see the athleticism for Rahmani. Had the arms tied up, and the coaching staff, the Panthers team, they are pumped up.
They told us it was going to be a wild card match in the
165 with Teshaun Campbell
Logan Breitebach.
taking on Logan
Pittsburgh native
Breitebach.
What a season Campbell has had. Drew Headley told us that in most duels, they need him to get as many bonus points as he possibly can. And that would be big tonight already with a 6-point lead in the duel.
Especially with the next match coming up for Iowa State, having a ranked wrestler. A nice headlock for Campbell, but he was unable to hold him down long enough to pick up back points, so it's a 2-1 lead for Campbell.
Coming into tonight, Teshaun Campbell riding an 8-match win streak. Momentum is on his side.
Local guy, Campbell, went to Penn Hills High School. Undefeated senior season, ended with a state championship. 15-2 on the year is Campbell. Breitenbach's a redshirt sophomore. He was 14-15 last year as a freshman, finished 6th in the Big 12. He was 197-22 at Archbishop Spalding, which is in Maryland. Was a 2-time state champ. Campbell looking to try to open some things up. Leading 2-1. Almost into a duck on the right to a single. A nice whizzer there from Breitenbach. Campbell just muscles him over to get the takedown. Goes up 4-1. Now a leg in for Campbell.
Campbell just looks to have physical control this entire first period.
You could just see the athleticism and the strength from Campbell to be able to pick up that second takedown.
Third in the country in technical falls with 8. Teshaun Campbell mentioned having a fantastic sophomore campaign. Ranked 15th in the country.
Yeah, Coach Headley earlier in the week mentioned they're expecting bonus here from Campbell.
1 minute.
He wants to try to get right into a tilt. He's got an ankle laced right now. .40 remaining in the first period. Breitenbach trying to get up to his feet. Campbell's going to bring him down to the mat. Wants to try to go right to a tilt on the edge of the mat. Breitenbach seeing where he is on the mat, though, wants to try to get out of bounds.
They'll have to go back to the middle. 17 seconds left in the period. 165-pound weight class. We started at 133. So intermission coming up pretty soon where the Pitt alumni are going to be honored on the mat.
Sitting out and turn attempt from Breitenbach in. Campbell wanted to pancake him over, but just unable to finish. Trying to ride out these final seconds of the period. Breitenbach almost up to his feet. He is going to get one right at the time, right at the buzzer. So it's going to be 4-2 after one. Campbell opened up with this takedown right here and tossed Breitenbach right to his back, but was unable to stick him there long enough to be able to pick up any near fall points.
Skill against the second period from the bottom position.
Campbell up to his feet. Breitenbach's got to try to get him down to the mat. He realizes he's going to end up giving up a stall call, so he gives Campbell the escape. Makes it 5-2. In on a shot is Campbell. He will finish.
Takedown, Campbell.
Made that look so simple.
He's just so quick. Now he's going to give an escape.
Escape, Breitebach.
And if you're Campbell, you can't get anything going on top. And you're getting takedowns whenever you want them. As Breitenbach gets in on a shot of his own, trying to come out the back door. Takedown for Breitenbach with a minute to go. And now Campbell will get an escape.
Escape, Campbell.
Think Breitenbach holding his own here?
Yeah, he's looked very strong. He's come after Campbell. He's not backing off. I think the toughest part Breitenbach struggled with is just the speed of Campbell. I think he's found his spots, and that's where he gets back into on a shot. I think Breitebach's starting to find some areas where he can get in the legs of Campbell. And you can see once you get on the legs of Campbell, he's not your Racciato or rahmani who's going to hit the funk rolls. So he might be able to pick up a takedown or two like he did just a few seconds earlier. For Campbell, he's just trying to hold on to end out this period with the lead. And that's what it'll be, 8-5.
Through 2 periods, Campbell with the lead, 8-5.
So this is the takedown that Campbell was able to pick up early in the period. But then Breitebach got his own and tightened this match up. It looked like that opening takedown in the second period was going to really potentially lead to a major for Campbell, but Breitebach able to get back into this one. He's on bottom to begin the third. An escape will make it 8-6. Campbell does have a minute and 25 seconds and counting of ride time. As Breitebach getting up to his feet. He'll go out of bounds with 1:42 to go here in the third.
Campbell seems to be just that much stronger than Breitebach in those situations where Breitebach's trying to peel some hands right there, get out of some bad spots. But to Breitebach's credit here, he's picked his shots nicely.
Breitebach needs to try to get out, which has been the struggle. Campbell's been able to ride him. Campbell now almost 2 minutes of ride time. He's got a 2-on-1 right now, and Campbell looking to try to tilt. He's got 2 back points waiting for him right now off of a 2 count. So now it's 10-5.
1 minute in the third.
Campbell's got to try to get a couple more near fall points. He's got the ride time point coming, and now he's going to pick up some more, which is going to lead to bonus points here for the Panthers if he can continue to ride in this scenario.
Riding time up over 2.5 minutes in favor of Campbell. 40 seconds to go in the match.
That ride time point will give them a major decision and a 13-5 score. So Campbell's got to ride for these 30 seconds. If he could pick up a couple more near fall points to be able to soak this one away. Wants to try to bring in that 2-on-1 for one more tilt. Breitebach, meanwhile, looking to try to get up to his feet. Campbell's going to flatten him back out, though. Now he's got a 2-on-1 once again, and he's going to get more near fall points. Will Campbell. Solid piece of riding here in the third, picking up near fall points. 2 near falls, the ride time point. And we got a major decision for Teshaun Campbell.
Major decision with third name, Teshaun Campbell.
Teshaun Campbell gets those bonus points that his coaching staff talked about. They needed it out of him tonight. And he got it. The major decision makes it 16-6 in the match score. The Panthers have had a good showing through the first half of this match. We're in intermission here at the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse, so we'll step aside for just a minute and come back. Panthers taking care of Iowa State so far. Back in Pittsburgh, Iowa State, the second half of this duel, going to have to get some things going. It's been a lot of Pittsburgh Panthers tonight so far. We started at 1:33. Dom Forys and Earl Hall, the marquee matchup of the night, and Forys picked up that decision.
Yeah, Forys got the big 6-2 win with a pair of takedowns in this opening match. Got things started for the Panthers, and then it was Nick Sonetta came out. A huge escape to a takedown to 4 near fall points, 7 points in the second period, 1-9-4 to make it a 6-0 score for the Panthers. But then it was Gabe Moreno who bounced back, puts Racciato on his back, and pins him in a minute and 25 seconds to tie this one up at 6. But then Taleb Rahmani answers. A back-and-forth match between he and diblasi, and it was Rahmani. The fall at 5:24 to make it 12-6 Pitt. And then Teshaun Campbell comes out. He picked up 6 near fall points and the ride time in that third period to win by a major decision 15-5, and that made it 16-6 Pitt. Here
16-9 in favor of the Panthers on the dual match score. Now we get set for 184. Zach Bruce mentioned that he was recruited by Kevin Jackson in Iowa State at one point. 12-9 this season, taking on Carson Powell, who is 12-10. This is a spot that number 8 Patrick Downey would usually occupy for the Cyclones. He's not wrestling tonight. See Zach Bruce from Seneca, Pennsylvania, one of those guys that Kevin Jackson really wanted. Unfortunately, slipped through his fingers into the hands of the Panthers.
Yeah, Bruce 116-29 in high school. He's 12-9 this season as a redshirt sophomore. One of those toss-up matches here at 184 that we were talking about. And again, that's due in part to Patrick Downey not being in the lineup here for Iowa State, dealing with some injuries. He had a broken rib earlier in the year, now an injured ankle. So he's a fifth-place finish from the NCAA a year ago. But he's not here, so Carson Palmer steps in. He was a 3-time state qualifier out of Ankeny High School in Iowa. 12-10 this year as a redshirt senior.
Remember the quote that Kevin Jackson said when he talked about Zach Bruce. He said he was hot and heavy after Zach Bruce. Tough to see him across the other end of the mat. Tough not having Patrick Downey in this situation for the Cyclones. Mentioned a redshirt junior 7-0 to this point this year. Was a guy that the Cyclones expected or continue to expect to challenge for an NCAA title.
And on an outside single was Bruce, but Powell able to grab the far ankle. And now if he can just kick his ankle free, which he's going to do, and he was almost able to spin behind, but nice job by Bruce to readjust, scramble out of that situation, and get back up to his feet. No points awarded to either wrestler. And we're in with a stalemate here. I'm sorry, it's a shoe malfunction. Powell's out of his shoe. I think whenever Bruce was holding on to that ankle.
Is that a little trick? You get down there, you untie the shoelace.
Oh, no, he wasn't untied the shoelace because all the wrestlers taped their laces. His foot literally was out of the heel. So that's why he had to step back in.
Pull it out either way.
Minute to go. A little over a minute to go here in the first period.
One minute.
Three matches to go after this one. We're at 184 pounds. Bruce and Powell still scoreless in the first period. Remember, the last match of the night will be 125 because we started at 133. The match score in favor of the Panthers, 16-9.
Bruce in on another shot, trying to suck the leg in. Now he's going to be able to bear hug and get the takedown. Nice job by Bruce. He was extended on his shot, but was able to tighten, bring him in, get the 2. He takes the early lead. It'll be 2-0 after 1.
Bruce will have about 26 seconds of riding time as well as the first period ends.
There's a far distance shot, but Bruce able to suck the leg in, then gets in on a bear hug, brings Powell down, gets the 2. Coach Coker, Coach Nauman, happy with that takedown. Bruce with the early lead, and now he's on the bottom to begin the second. Legs in for Powell. Bruce really just wants to shake him down. But Powell able to get Bruce down to the mat. A little bit high with the legs, but Powell trying to stretch out Bruce. Now he's got him in some trouble here, flattened out. As Powell's now able to readjust and reposition. Trying to run a power half here is Powell. And you can see how tight Powell has it. Bruce doing a nice job, though, not going over. And now working his way back up to his feet. Gets Powell high, shakes him down, gets the reversal. And Bruce went from being in some pain and looking like he might give up back points to picking up the reversal. Now in control, 4-0 lead. Coach is happy about that on the pit sideline.
See Bruce just kind of fall on Powell's back there. Can imagine how exhausted your body must be after being contorted like that. Have the guts to not roll over like you said. That's got to be why. Coker happy about it, applauding that effort.
4-0 after 2. Powell will have choice to begin the third. Considering Bruce has been able to ride Powell, wonder if he might go top. And he decides to go neutral.
Powell in third neutral.
See, he was able to pick up on the leg and get him over for the reversal. Is now start of the third on their feet. Get a stalemate, just 18 seconds in. Into a tie up here. Here, Bruce, you're comfortable in this scenario. You got to let Powell bring the action to him. Is now a nice outside single attempt for Bruce. Still wants to try to stay aggressive. Powell looking to try to flatten Bruce out.
1 minute.
Bruce holding on to that leg. He's got a strong grip on it. Looking for a stalemate potentially. Now looking to potentially come out the back door is Bruce, and he's going to do that. Trying to swim through. We're going to get a stalemate with 30 seconds to go in the period.
No ride time involved. Starting at neutral. Bruce lost his last match at NC State, but won the previous 4. Looks like to be just a couple seconds from picking up another good decision.
Shot by Powell, fought up by Bruce, and it's going to be a 4-0 win for Zach Bruce.
Your winner by 4-0 decision for the Panthers, Zach Bruce.
Bruce picks up the 3 team points and a victory for himself. 13-9 now this season. Match fall streak coming into this one. And this will do it. You mentioned that if Iowa State didn't get bonus points in either 285 or 125, then and they needed to win both of them anyway, so it's pretty much all for naught right now, but for individual efforts now between Kyle Larson and LJ Bentley.
Yeah, even a fall for Iowa State would make it 22-18, so Pittsburgh will win the team portion, but for Bentley, he's looking to try to get a win here for the Panthers and pick up his 13th of the season. He's 12-9 as a sophomore. Coach Headley mentioned he's seen a lot of potential in Bentley. He's excited to see him get going. Wants to see him continue to take that next step. after finishing 19-12 a year ago.
Also took a 4th place finish in the ACC Championships, qualified for the NCAA Championship as a freshman.
Larson, a redshirt senior, 8-11 this year. He was an NCAA qualifier as well last year, 23-17. Was 5th in the Big 12.
We obviously didn't start at 125 like you typically would tonight, but Drew Headley saying that LJ Bentley is a guy that usually has to provide a lot of energy for the team, provide a spark, and get things going in the right direction tonight. He'll finish things off for the Panthers.
He gets the opportunity to close it out.
So the Panthers will, at the conclusion of this 125-pound matchup, move to 9-5 in duels on the season. What impressed you most about the team effort tonight?
I really liked what I saw from Dom Forys getting back on the mat. He's looking like it looks like he's got his condition under him. I think that was one thing Coach Headley wanted to see after being out for a good bit of time. Taleb Rahmani he continues to impress and continues to get better. Really liked what I saw from him as well, as Larson's going to put Bentley onto his back momentarily. Only going to get a takedown. No back points. Bentley's going to pick up an escape. And now Coach Jackson, I think he wants to see if any back points were there. As Bentley was thrown onto his back briefly.
Do you think any back points were supposed to be awarded there?
It was so bang,
held
bang.
for so long.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. As you see, stepping through a pancake. I think I only seen a 1 count from the ref.
It looked like Bentley held on to some consistent movement.
Depends when you give control. Right there's control, but you see the ref only do a 1 count. I think if the referee, he could have started the count a little earlier, which then would have resulted in a couple of back points, but I only seen a 1 count, so I don't know that there was back points based on the referee and his movement.
Kevin Jackson trying to squeeze a couple extra points out of this one for Kyle Larson. It's been a struggle this year for Iowa State, and I'm going to suffer another defeat here.
Again, if you put the control right there, I would think he has 2 back points, but I think by the time he finally put up the 2, and then looked to start counting back points, he only had a 1 count.
We get the ruling.
After review, the comeback stands. Iowa State has lost their challenge.
So no back points awarded to Larson, which, based on when they said he had control, I'd have to agree with it because he only got a 1 count in.
You're on it.
Hey, it's easy to criticize from up top, right?
Well, you had the call earlier in the Rahmani match. Now you get this one. It's tough to see.
It's so
impressive.
bang, bang.
It's impressive. You got that eye.
I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah, it's okay. You deserve it.
Now Bentley trailing 2-1. He's going to have to get his offense going. Shot in from Larson. They go out with 11 seconds to go here in the first.
Much different pace than the big fellas in the last one.
Always get it with the lightweights. A lot of scrambles, a lot of movement, a lot of action. And it's going to be 2-1 after 1 for Larson. Coach Headley.
Told us he loved his team's effort last week against NC State. They follow it up with a nice victory in a dual match against Iowa State this week. When we asked him, you feel like you guys need a team win right now? And he said, well, it would be great if we could get one, but really the focus is that the effort has been phenomenal over the last couple weeks from his wrestlers, and he believes that Panthers can finish out the year with 3 dual wins and carry momentum into championship season. This would be one of those 3.
Definitely 3 winnable matches. Obviously, you're going to get a win here against Iowa State. Virginia and Duke. 2 matches they should be able to compete well in. Bentley's up to his feet, and Larson's got to try to bring him down to the mat. And they go out of bounds. Larson doing a nice job of riding here in this second period. 1:19 to go in the period. Sit out and turn attempt for Bentley. Larson wants to try to chin him back. Bentley just gets back into a base.
1 minute.
Spiral ride for Larson.
Under a minute to go in the second period.
Bentley now looking to get up to his feet, and he's going to gravy roll out for 1. Ties the match at 2. 30 seconds to go in the second. 1:25 of ride time, though, for Larson. Something to keep in mind is I'm sure Larson will be on the bottom to begin the third. Two after 2. For Bentley, he's continuing to try to get to his feet. He does, and then hits a nice Granby roll right out of it. Ties this match up. Third period begins neutral. So Larson starts him on his feet. He does have the ride time points, so for Bentley, he's got to be able to get a takedown here, or Larson will win the match 3-2. He's got a full period to do it. Trying to drag by to a shot for Bentley, but Larson able to stay clear of that.
How do you measure when to take your shot here? Is it just at any point that window opens, or do you have to kind of time it?
You got to try to time. You got to get your opponent moving from side to side and get a good angle in on a shot. Right now, there's just too much distance between these 2 guys. Larson with a shot attempt, you see there. Bentley with a couple of head taps. And Bentley gets in on a shot, but Larson with a front headlock. Wants to apply pressure here with Bentley in a side-by-side and get a stalemate with 39 seconds to go. Neither wrestler has been hit with a stalling call. Again, you see 2-2 on the scoreboard, but Larson does have the ride time point coming with 1 minute and 25 seconds showing as Bentley in on a shot. Holding on to that ankle. He's got to try to come up and finish. Trying to step through. A whizzer here from Larson. Now Bentley just trying to step across the body of Larson.
Only a couple seconds to do it.
Down to 5. Once again, tries to step through. Larson with that whizzer. And Larson will win the match 3-2 with the ride time point.
Your winner by 3-2 decision for Iowa State, Kyle Larson.
Larson picks up a victory. 9-11 now on the year. Bentley drops one due to a riding time point, down to 12-10 on the season. But Iowa State continues their worst season under under the tutelage of Kevin Jackson. They dropped to 1-10 as a team. The Pittsburgh Panthers carry some momentum off of that good effort from last week at number 8, North Carolina State, and they come home to the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse victorious tonight. They move to 9-5 in dual meets this season. Still looking for that first ACC dual win. But that'll do it from the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. So for Greg Warnock and our entire crew, I'm Kevin Wheeler saying so long from Pittsburgh, where the final score is 22-15. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.